Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about 7 American PDF files barred from entering the Philippines in January alone, a surge in online scams in the Philippines, new flights from Iloilo, find out where, arrests made on individuals selling fake IDs, and more. Not much change in the USD to peso exchange rate. I think about 58.1, I want to say. I got to check that again. Here's our main story. The Philippines Bureau of Immigration barred 7 offenders from entering the Philippines in January. The BI said it barred from entering the country last month 7 Americans with records of convictions as, offenders in their respective countries. The move is in line with President Marcos Jr.'s commitment to protecting children and ensuring that foreign criminals, especially those with history of that kind of offense with minors, are prevented from entering the Philippines. In a statement, Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado said that 6 of the passengers were excluded from entering at Naya, while 1 was intercepted at the Mactan airport in Cebu. They were denied entry by our immigration officers upon discovering that they were among the thousands of registered offenders, RSOs, who are in our database, said Viado. He added that the aliens were excluded pursuant to a provision in the Immigration Act which prohibits the entry of foreigners who have been convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude. According to the BI Border Control and Intelligence Unit, all 7 Americans were sent back to the port of origin a day after they were intercepted. The BI emphasized that these exclusions are part of the Shield Kids program, initiative designed to safeguard Filipino children from foreign predators. Under the program, the BI worked closely with local and international law enforcement agencies to monitor and prevent the entry of convicted offenders and other individuals who pose a threat to children's safety. The initiative reinforces the Philippines' commitment to protecting its youth and ensuring a safe environment free from those who seek to exploit them. I've gone ahead and left a link in the description of this video if you guys want to click on that and find exactly what the people's names are, their ages, and what they did. The specific details I cannot read here, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. I'm glad that they explain exactly how they go ahead and kind of filter through who they will allow in the country, who will they not. Looks like they're doing a lot more to go ahead and kind of coordinate with different agencies and have all this names and people on their database, because a lot of times, let's be honest, in immigration in the Philippines, not just the Philippines, any developing country, all the systems may not be synced, right, when it comes to digitization of records and all that. So who knows what the process was before. But now it looks like a lot of this stuff is slowly getting cleared up a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot more out there, but I'm glad that there's steps being made between government agencies to go ahead and prevent anybody that's trying to exploit the situation of younger peoples. Staying with people trying to take advantage of others, online dating scams in the Philippines are on the rise, with nearly 18% of interactions on dating sites and community forums suspected to be fraudulent, much higher than the global average of 11.5%. A TransUnion report shows that fraud attempts in these platforms increased by 35% in 2024 compared to the previous year. Scammers commonly target users during financial transactions, 31% account creation, 22% login attempts. The Philippines also has an overall digital fraud rate of 13% more than the double global average. Whoa! The most common scams include phishing, 51%. That's basically deceptive emails or messages to steal your personal information. Smishing, never heard of that one before. 44% SMS-based scams, sending a text message. Money and gift card scams, pretty self-explanatory, 36%. And fake sellers on legitimate shopping sites, 31%. A lot of times they take your money and just send you nothing, basically. Experts urge users to be cautious, verify new accounts, avoid quick financial transactions, and use platforms with strong security measures. As online scams evolve, fraud prevention efforts must keep up to protect consumers. Definitely, if you've been online doing any kind of activity, I promise you've come across somebody try to scam you if you spend enough time on there, whether it's relationships, dating sites, buying something from Lazada or Shopee, renting an apartment, making any kind of transaction, or sometimes even without your knowledge. It's happened to me multiple times where somebody tried to scam me from a random country which I had nothing to do with, purchased nothing about, but maybe I opened something in an email or a text message, went on a certain website or whatever, and somebody got my information. So it happens, and no matter how careful you are, sometimes it can lead that way. Leave your thoughts down below regarding any of the 2 stories I covered so far. One, of course, the American PDF files. The second one being the fact that scamming is on the rise and almost double the global average, which is kind of crazy in some smaller categories, but 18% compared to 11% is what I remember reading this. Kind of an insane number when you think about it, but also makes sense since apparently Filipinos spend the most time on their phones. So just like a numbers game, I guess. But yeah, be careful out there. Next up, the Bureau of Investigation and Department of Agriculture on Wednesday filed additional evidence against 4 individuals charged in connection with the raid on a warehouse in Bulacan last Monday. NBI Director Jamie Santiago earlier said they raided the warehouse because they used mixed different types of local and imported rice, both old and new, repacking them into new sacks and later selling them at higher prices. Yeah, I guess these guys just mix and matching rice and selling it as premium rice. And the Philippines National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group on Wednesday said 3 persons were arrested in separate operations for selling fake government identification cards online. These things also happen. Fake IDs are easily obtainable in the Philippines, and these people have been arrested for selling fake cards that supposedly represent the government. Next up, in some positive news, the UAE donates $20 million for the Pasig River Give Life Again project. Amazing to see people trying to clean up the environment in the Philippines. There's a whole summit with different governments trying to get together and look into the future and a better environment for everybody. Now, I'm all for stuff like this. I don't mind that, trying to do big things, big projects, and actually making a difference in the, all that. But stopping me from drinking from a plastic straw or asking me if I've considered my carbon footprint taking a flight, like it happened in today's, I don't know if it was a troll or something. During the live stream, somebody asked me if I'm worried about my carbon footprint since I travel so much. The fuck out of here, man. What are you talking about? Me? One dude on a plane with 200 other people? Me? Come on, man. I try to be okay, but asking me to watch my carbon, I don't even believe in it. What is a carbon footprint anyways, man? All that stuff, go after countries, go after billion-dollar companies. Don't come at me with that nonsense, man. Next up, in some more positive news, the unemployment rate in the Philippines fell to 3.8% in 2024, the lowest since 2005. The government steps continue for fair, quality, and meaningful livelihood for every Filipino. In some more potentially positive news, budget carrier Cebu Pacific is set to launch direct flights between Iloilo and Bangkok, Thailand next month, with a $1 peso one-way base fare available for booking this week. Okay, cool, but I'll be honest, on a personal note, I cannot stand Cebu Pacific's marketing strategy or seem like very, very scammy. They say 1 peso, they just mean the base fare, but there's the fuel charge, the airport fees, the taxes, all that stuff. Not only that, whenever you look at something online on Cebu Pacific, by the time you end up leaving, it just doubles somehow. I don't know where they come up with these, I don't know. If you know what, if you've used Cebu Pacific website on more than 1 or 2 occasions, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No matter which number, date, amount, time you click on, by the time you check out, that number's doubled. I don't know how they're allowed to go ahead and advertise that way, or at least show you that initial number. I don't like it. I think it's very dishonest, but leaves many of us very little choice if you don't have a high budget, because Cebu Pacific does run about half the passenger through Cebu. So I saw that in a report that they have a very high monopoly and control over which flights are going, because they offer the most routes from any other domestic budget airline. So yeah, one of those things, I understand, but I just think they don't need to do that scheme kind of sleazy advertising. I don't like it. Leave your comments down below about that too. Have you ever visited the Cebu Pacific website? Do you know what I'm talking about? Not to mention the whole how laggy it is and anyway. So let's go on to something more positive. So Valentine's Day, right? Stalled along San Pedro Street in Davao City sell a variety of bouquet of flowers a day before Valentine's Day. Prices range between 500 pesos and 1,500 pesos each. Pretty cool. Big day coming up tomorrow. Do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day, or do you not do it? Do you think it's just like a big facade, a scam again of some sort from corporations? Anything you want to share about that? Let's go back into the negativity. Kind of, when 3 police officers from the Philippine National Police Force been fired for using that bus lane that our man from the U.S. used a couple days ago, and also Manny Pacquiao's crew, one of his entourage members, also used the EDSA bus lane. So here's a story about these 3 police officers. 3 members of the PNP, Philippines National Police Highway Patrol Group, were fired after they were caught passing in the EDSA bus lane on Friday, February 7th. The incident happened at EDSA Ortega's northbound flyover at around 7:45 in the morning, where the Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation was caught by a member of the HP, Highway Patrol Guard escorting vehicle. It seems to be a very hot topic right now to stop on everybody from using that lane. A very small group of people are allowed to use that lane, unless you're a bus, of course. Yeah, so that's that. Time for a segment yesterday today where I share some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Wowzy says, driver's license, passport, visa extensions, all paperwork you got to keep up with. Definitely. And Theme Pro 24 makes it to the list once again. He says that overstay mistake is probably a case of passport bros' self-entitled mentality combined with upsetting locals into narsing on him. I assume it's pronounced narking on him. My bad. Snitching on the man, basically. And that's why you don't expose too much personal information about yourself to the locals. And also, a lot of times, as we talked about before, it's not about being lazy. It's just about being a criminal, essentially, and don't want to go and extend your visa because you might be apprehended and kicked back to the U.S. or whichever country that you're supposed to be from, because this guy was from the U.S. That's just obviously assumption, speculation. It could be any factor of why he did not go ahead and extend his visa legally. And STE Car or Stecker says a few days of overstay can be understandable, but not months or years exactly. When I'm in the Philippines, I get a balikbayan visa because I'm going to be there for more than 30 days. I always make sure that I know when my time is up because actually there's no excuse to overstay your visa except if you have an emergency and end up in a hospital or in jail. I agree. Any reasonable, responsible person has that date ingrained into their brain because they know they have to extend it if they're going to stay past that 29 days. So, and it's very easy. The Philippines is one of the easiest countries to extend your visa as a tourist, in my opinion, from my experience over dozens of countries. So there's no other reason except for just sheer laziness or just lack of, anyways. I don't want to go in circles about that. And that was today's video. Leave your comments down below regarding any of the topics I covered today. And if you're new to the channel or haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, consider subscribing, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. And if you really want to show your support, you can buy me a coffee. I've left a link in the description of this video, or you can go ahead and scan this QR code right here. I made it convenient for you guys since you're obviously supporting the channel. Thank you for watching, regardless of what you do or what you do not do. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.